Coca Vision, baby, TIDAL.
But we still can do whatever you want to do, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever you like.
Pick it up, pick it up. Chick, turn it over, pick it up.
Well, drug tunnels under the border. Mexican cartels have dug them to funnel their product into our country.
Assalamu alaikum, Joe. Whenever you're in Dubai, we have a zoo in the house. We got tigers called Tiger and Kylie.
Yeah, what up, y'all? This your boy Joe Crack. Welcome to Coca Vision. Today we got a super exclusive episode. Somebody I admire a lot. Somebody who is a legend, even though he's young, handsome. You know what I'm saying? But he's somebody that, you know, paved the way for a lot of what's going on out here in hip hop, in the ATL circuit. You know, we in El Chapo's Tunnel.
Hey, man.
From Mexico to Texas.
Hey, man, this is
you the rubber band man.
This is exclusive.
None other than T.I.P. That motherfucker Tip, T.I.
What's happening, bro?
What's up, my brother?
Cool, man. How you doing?
Yo, Tip, man, it's just so much to, you know, I don't write shit down. I don't think of questions. It's just so much to ask you. I remember I was signed to Atlantic and you was coming up in the game and you was the rubber band man.
Right on.
And I don't believe there was one person who slept on you. I remember I would walk around that office and everybody was like, yo, he's gonna be the biggest. I'm like, really? They like, yo, he's gonna be the biggest shit in the game. Reflecting back at that time, man, did you ever think you'd make it this far?
I mean, there were times I didn't, and then there were times I thought I'd make it farther. You know, but you know, that's the great thing about the story is it's still being told. We still turning pages. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're a true lyricist.
Thank you.
As
are you.
Yeah, but there's different kind of music, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, I've been to Atlanta and I heard I just fuck your bitch and some flip flops. That's not T.I. Right? T.I. is lyrical. And why you made it a conscious effort, even though you're from fucking Atlanta, you're the heart and soul of Atlanta, the ATL. Why you make it a conscious effort that when you make your music, your lyrical content is like, what makes you do that in your music?
Man, I think that's what I learned. That's how I was, I guess, inducted into this thing of ours. You know, I grew up listening to people and admiring the way they put their words, metaphors, and double entendres together. So that's
who you looked up to.
Well, the first guy I looked up to was LL.
LL,
yeah,
it's my idol.
Right on. That was the first song I knew on my own. You know, I'm bad. Yeah, I knew that front to back. And so then after that, it had NWA, Tupac, Outkast, Scarface, Biggie.
You ever seen Pac in Atlanta when he lived in?
Nah, man, nah.
You was too young.
I couldn't
I met Pac, I tell you, the first time I ever met Pac, I think it was Jack the Rapper and Wu-Tang was rap. We all came out with Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
And Wu-Tang was all rapping and I was there and a dude walks up with a red bandana and had two guns in his hand, right? So I'm looking at him like, right in fucking P Street. So I'm looking, I'm like, you know, he was like, yo, Crack, what's up? Yo, Joe, Fat Joe, what's up? I was like, yo, what's up? And he was like, yo, it's Pop. I was like, yo, this nigga, this is the first time I ever met Tupac in my fucking life.
Hell nah.
And I was like, yo, what's up, my nigga? Yo, this. He's like, oh, so I love my nigga this. He said, what's up to everybody? Wu-Tang. And I used to see him in Atlanta.
Right.
So you never, but you heard stories of Pac in Atlanta, right?
Sure. See, that's the thing, man. Like, you know, I see Atlanta as two cities. It's like the city that I knew growing up and the city that that was unlocked to me after I became T.I. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I recall being
definitely too.
I recall being in Atlanta. I'd never seen anybody famous before. I remember seeing how they say Criss Cross got discovered in the mall, and I'm like, man, I'm at the mall every week. What, you know what I'm saying?
Who
I
gonna
ain't
walk
seen
up there
nobody.
and find me?
Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't until I got signed to LaFaze that went, oh man, y'all been over here all this time? You know what I mean? I trapped like 5 minutes.
It's two worlds.
It's two worlds, man. You have no idea how close you are, but how far away it seems.
Same way here, man.
I could imagine.
I don't bump into nobody. I don't bump into no rappers. My car's always in the Bronx, in the hood. I never bump into rappers on the corner, no shit like that. Maybe when I come downtown to a fancy restaurant or some shit, then I'll bump into it and they be like, yo, what's up? What's good? But for years, I used to tell my nigga, yo, I'm gonna play a game called Find a Rapper. Like, I used to try to find a rapper around the streets of New York. I'm driving through all of them, the Bronx, Brooklyn. I couldn't find a nigga.
Right.
You know, I will say the one rapper I did bump into the most would be Jadakiss.
Okay.
Because he smoked weed and he gotta come in the trap.
Right.
Nah, that nigga be up in Harlem. He be in the fucking Heights. He going to get that weed.
Yeah.
You know,
now I tell you, the first rappers that I saw, the first famous people that I saw, Too Short. Okay, Too Short used to get his hair cut in the plaza next door to the apartments me and my homeboys trapped in. So I saw Too Short on Camilton Road, and Gip from Goody Mob, and Cujo from time to time. You know what I'm saying? Those were the first people, but that was always on the strip, on Camilton Road. But other than that, man, yeah, I was struggling to figure out how everybody else got on, and I ain't made it yet.
You received a lot of bad raps. A lot of bad raps. Meaning, I know T.I., I know you ain't no pussy, you ain't no punk, but it felt like for a while, every time I turned around, you getting locked up. Yeah. And they giving you 2 years in jail.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think people understand what it is to be a rapper, a famous, not just a struggling rapper, one of the biggest in the game, and walking through that motherfucking door. What is that like? I know what it's like, but I'm asking you so the people could understand what it's like when you walk up in there and it's like, yo, you T.I.
Well, you know, for me, like, now it's kind of like the people who I saw do it before me was like, you know, Tupac, Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying? Like, but aside from me, that's kind of like, you know, that's kind of like the standard now. You know what I'm saying? Since so many people, you got Boosie who went through it, you got so many other people.
I'll tell you my experience.
Right.
When they locked me up, I was in the building, in the Fed building in Miami, and they took me up in the elevator, and I was in the floor with 2,000 niggas, right? But they didn't see me yet, right? They didn't know Fat Joe was walking in through the door. So when the CEO come to take me to my cell, when they opened that door, it's all metal in there.
Right.
It was the loudest shit I ever heard in my life. It was 2,000 niggas going, diving niggas was trying to climb off the, Now listen, I take pride in never being scared of any human being if possible.
Yeah.
Too much pride of never being scared.
Right.
It was a little
That's
intimidating, my
That's
nigga.
overwhelming.
2,000 niggas at the same time. I had to walk to my cell and be like, yo, Joe, you really didn't know. I don't never have to check myself.
Right.
I had to check myself. I had to walk like, yo, Joe, you the realest nigga in. Fuck that. Don't fold, nigga. Go straight to the box. Don't fold. Because it's 2,000 niggas. Jamaican niggas, Haitian niggas, Spanish niggas, cock diesel niggas, this. I had to check myself, my nigga.
Self-talk
That's
is
the
very
effect
important.
I'm trying to say. When T.I. walked in, did they scream? It felt like a dragon was on me, but without the fire. I felt 2,000 breaths at the same time.
You know what? To me, it was kind of like the exact opposite. It was like extremely quiet. It was like it, but I could feel everybody looking at me. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like for real, man. It's all about your personality. You gonna make you gonna make it to be whatever energy you invest into this process. You know what I mean? If you a cool cat and you solid, you know what I mean, you gonna deal with people the same way you would in the project. Hey man, I got something to do, I'll be back. Or, you know what I'm saying, hey man, come on man, you know
Same
that's
thing.
not what we doing. You know, it's the same, you know, you deal with men as you deal with men, no matter, you know, what walk of life they may come from. You handle yourself as a man, you give respect and you demand it in return. That's universal.
Yeah. I mean, I remember doing my little time and saying to myself, what the fuck was T.I. doing when he was in? What was Little Kim doing? What was Lauryn Hill? Because they gave me the shittiest job in the world. They made me clean dishes in the fucking
kitchen?
In the kitchen.
Oh, no.
You wasn't doing that.
Nah, I couldn't take the kitchen. Can't take the kitchen.
You couldn't do the kitchen.
We go to the shoe before we take the kitchen.
I didn't know we had the option.
Yeah. You can go to the shoe. You can lay it down.
Go to the shoe and say, fuck it.
Yeah. But nah, I was in sanitation. I was in, it was a recyclable where they bring all of the aluminum cans from the kitchen, all of the cardboard boxes. You know what I mean? You got to bale up the cardboard boxes and crunch down the aluminum cans. But that's good though, because you know what I'm saying? Never mind. I mean, a lot of trucks come in from the outside through that department.
So you get some type of breath of air.
Yeah, you get access.
A little access.
You get access. Yeah.
You're gone for several years.
No, I ain't do that much time.
I don't want to ask you about the 17 guns and all that, right? Because when you got caught with 17 guns, I thought you was gonna do 144 years or some shit.
Yeah, you guess what? Me too. Shit.
So, how did you get out of this shit, bro?
Well,
I'm not trying to do no fucking fuck nigga shit. I'm asking you, how did
nothing
you?
to be done. I mean, man, to be honest with you, man, we were able to shape the story in a way where, for one, I was victimized, and that's what led to me thinking outside of myself. That's what led to me doing things that were, you know, beyond consideration for a normal thinking person. You know what I mean? I was, you know, literally having death threats, and, you know, my partner had died, and it was my security.
I don't think you remember I was shaking my ass with you that night before, but go ahead.
It was my security who kind of played on my heightened need for security, and he was telling me, yo, we need to get this, we need to get that, we need to, and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, if we need to get it, get it. You know what I mean? So, and he was the one who, I gave him enough bread to go get it legitimately, as he should. He wanted to put something in his pocket and say, hey, well, look, man, so how can I get this for half price, but not over the table? That's what he did.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I was so mad at you, man, because I watch you come up. You know what I mean? From Atlantic and all that. And I partied with you the night before. I was like, how the fuck did this? I'm waiting for you at the wards, my nigga, and there's a fucking rumor. Like, yo, this nigga locked up. I could not believe this shit, man.
That shit wasn't no rumor. But no, but that was the way that, you know, we were able to present it as, hey, listen, we've already been doing so much community service. We've already impacted so many people's lives. Why turn this story into a bad ending when we could make it a positive ending? And they went with it.
Something. You know,
now, the misconception, since we're on the subject, is that I had to tell on somebody, but the thing is, this was the top of the pyramid. Wasn't nobody else to tell on. I was the person who got told on. Somebody went and tried to do something illegal, and they said, hey, man, you don't want me, you want my boss. And he brought them to me. So after they got me, ain't nobody else for me to tell on. I didn't know nobody bigger than me doing the type of shit that I was doing. And so that's not even a consideration.
Very good point. 2, you do years, right? And then
I did a year at a time.
All right, you did a year, right?
I did a year at a time.
But this was the only time musically, I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. Mm-hmm. This is the only time musically I seen you. You know, I'm whack. I'm Fat Joe's whack in some of these things, but I'm saying this is the only time I seen you trying to find yourself again, musically. Because before this, every shit you put out was just going quadruple 10 platinum. There was a little time. You know, I'm a hip hop scholar, my nigga. Like, I study this shit like I'm a scientist. So when you came out, you wasn't catching that niche. Like, you was working, but it wasn't like, damn, that's the first time I ever seen you, like, you know, how the fuck you get, because you, obviously, the winners get it back, and then you came back and you was on Pocket, and it's T.I.
I think for one, when I went away, I was kind of struggling with, you know, the life that I was living. And before, when you heard me talking about certain things, that's exactly what it was. You know what I mean? And coming back, it didn't feel the same to have certain subject matter. And you know what I'm saying? It didn't feel the same because that wasn't really what was going on at the time. So, you know, I started, you know, getting into, you know, other forms of music, a little more mainstream, you know what I mean? But ultimately, I started to look at it like, whether you still trapping or not, whether you still do drugs or not, whether you still have guns around you or not, you treat that shit like an alcoholic treats a drink. You know, you could be an alcoholic and you could have been clean for 30 years, but you still remember how it tastes. You still remember what it's like to wake up drunk. You know what I'm saying?
I tell them all the time, I'm a great father, I'm a great businessman, I give charity, but I'm a fucking gangster rapper. I'm not gonna stop making gangster rap music. I gotta backtrack, cause you one of the kings you're on the Mount Rushmore of Atlanta hip hop, of all hip hop, but Atlanta hip hop for sure. Something you might not notice, because I notice it because I'm on the outside looking in. So Atlanta's black excellence, black heaven, we love everything, everybody's black. But I've taken my tour bus to Atlanta from Florida, and 40 minutes out the city, see the Ku Klux Klan shit up.
Sure.
With my own eyes. Sure. See the 3 fucking crosses.
Right at Stone Mountain.
Stone Mountain, right in your face on the highway, right? Niggas with Confederate shit, like it's on and popping 40 minutes from Atlanta. Have you seen that shit?
Yeah. Well, you know, that's a saying, you know, you got 2 parts. You got Atlanta and then there's Georgia, you know what I'm saying? So you can't go outside Atlanta thinking that you're
I'm
still
scared
in
to catch a case in Atlanta because I think the judges is from over here.
It might be. They might, but you know, what I've learned, man, ultimately, they you know, they have been put in a position of power, but they ain't in control. God is.
You made history. You put the TV show together with your whole family. It's the new Huxtables on TV. That was a fact. That I don't know about these niggas. That's what I was looking at. The fucking Huxtables. The fucking T.I., his wife, his kids. We watch them grow up. Positive, no fuckery going on.
Right.
I mean, how you even felt like when the show popped off, like a guy like you, you know, I know it's so much shit to you, man. You know what I mean? We like private, but now you on TV with your whole family. How do you think that was the right move?
Well, at the time,
because at the time, all was going on reality TV was train wrecks and shit like that. Sure. So what made you say, yo, this is the right move for me?
Well, I mean, at the time, it was about the story that I needed to present, you know, because the only thing when you heard about me and when people said my name, they always associated it back to, you know, going to prison, you know, getting locked up. So I think that that's one small page out of a thick-ass book. So I just wanted to give them something else to determine when they think about me.
One of the greatest rappers turned actors is T.I.
Thank you.
No, the role in the the Frank Lucas.
Thank you.
Yo, you played the fuck out of that, man. Like, I mean, sometimes we happy for everybody rapping and acting, but sometimes some niggas, they can't shake who they is. Like you know what I mean? You see a rapper on there, you like, oh, that's such and such. It ain't like that's Hector Velasquez or some shit, or whoever that role, you played it to an expertise. How serious and how hard is it to make a transition from rapping to acting?
I mean, it depends on how serious you take the craft. You know what I mean? It's gonna seem to be very, very challenging if you take the craft serious, and if you don't, it's gonna appear to be hard. It's gonna appear to be simple. It's gonna, you know what I'm saying? You know, with people, it's hard to put a lot of effort into something and make it look effortless, but it's not hard to make something look effortless that you ain't putting no effort in. So if you really take, because I take pride in storytelling. And so if you understand the story, read the entire script, then you understand the position that this character you're supposed to be playing is put in and how he's supposed to carry the story. And when you know that, you kind of put that into your performance.
I seen you make moves politically, social consciously, if that's a word.
Socially conscious.
Socially conscious.
Yeah.
I seen you take it to the streets. A lot of motherfuckers talk the talk, they don't walk the walk.
Sure.
When it comes to this, I've seen you marching down them streets in Atlanta.
Right.
I seen you protesting Houston's, which is one of my favorite fucking restaurants. I had to pull T.I. to the side and be like, yo, man, the fucking prime rib, my nigga. Yo, don't do this to me, T.I. Don't make me protest Houston's. I fucking love Houston's. He was like, yo, Joe, you gotta understand.
Systemic discrimination. You know what I mean?
Systemic discrimination. I know that word.
Systemic discrimination.
Why so vocal? Why put yourself in such a, I do the same shit, but why put yourself, the people gotta know.
And you and I, we did, you know what I'm saying, we was able to put together the stuff for
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
We put together for, and you was like one of the first guys to, before I could say it, you was donating money, donating your time, donating your efforts. Same thing with Houston. We all came together for Houston.
Absolutely.
Recently I seen you give to something else. I mean, not just giving back to the community, because you always do that. I just want to know what gives you the courage, the activism. You know, some people feel like, yo, I might get some of my fans mad. Like, I just did a song where I'm like, fuck Trump, my nigga. Hold you hoe ass niggas. Like, and people like, yo, really? Like, you might lose fans. Like, what makes you do this?
I mean, you see, ultimately, man, you know, I'm a man before I'm anything. And as a man, you know, one of the most important things is making the world somewhat a better place if I have an opportunity to for my children. So I got children who are gonna have to move around in the same world that we living in now. And 20 years from now, my sons and daughters is gonna be out here either reaping the benefits or paying the consequences for what I put out here into the world, my contributions, or the things that I took away from the world. So when I speak, I speak with them in mind. Like, you know, when I'm doing what I do it with them in mind, hoping that something that I say can, you know, mold the world into a better place.
You ever made a record that you knew your kids was listening to and you said, damn?
Yeah, all the time. But see, you know what? I ain't really worried about what my kids listen to. I worry about how they're trained. Like, if I wasn't around, or if you know, I'm not just putting no CD in and letting no music raise my child. You know what I mean? I'm actually there, so I get a chance to decipher, because they ain't got to deal with who they listen to. They're gonna have to deal with me.
I tell people all the time, my daughter's Little House on the Prairie. She got great grades. She's the sweetest girl in the world, and she hears fuck Trump, my nigga, or you hoe ass. But we parents, so we know how to parent our kids.
This is the first generation, I think, like as parents, that you could be so cool with your kids that y'all listen to the same music, wear the same clothes, damn near. Like if you go back to the 70s and it's like, you know, motherfuckers look 56 when they were 23, you know what I'm saying?
Niggas had afros to the ceiling and shit. Yo,
I mean, this is a great part, this is a great moment for the generation.
Donald Trump.
Fuck him. Passionately, sincerely.
I need a little more out of you because I see you on them streets. What's one moment that he did that made you say,
man, his entire, I mean, I guess the thing that really got my attention, the first thing is when, you know, they were kind of like pushing the sister who was at the rally protesting. And so they was kind of pushing her around and, you know, and these are men pushing on this woman. And this man is up here encouraging it, saying, yeah, you know, back in our day, we would have did this to him, we would have did that, and if you get in any trouble, I'll pay for your bail. Now, now just imagine if we were on stage and there was, you know, a Trump supporter or a redneck that was out there protesting, and we were encouraging the guys in the crowd who were, you know, supporters of us, we were encouraging them to take this person and, man, you know, we'll beat this motherfucker ass, man, back in our day, we would have did it. See, we would be looked at as terrorists.
yo, a fact.
You see what I'm saying?
And we would have been in jail still.
Whereas they make him the president. So, I mean, for that, it's, the hypocrisy really is what's...
That's a serious word.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's hypocrisy.
That's what really gets me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to hold us to such a high standard, but want us to accept such a low one in return. 2020,
do you have any horses in the race?
Nah, man, not yet. I mean, I think if Oprah decided to run, I think she could win. I think she could kick his ass. I mean, I think it's some more people. I think if Biden was the run,
yeah,
he
Biden could have did it, man.
Yeah. There's a few people.
I want you to think about this next question. I'm a huge fan of Dave Chappelle. I was the first rapper on this show. Okay. It's a segment called When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong.
Right.
When did you keep it real and it went wrong?
Shit, what do you mean?
I mean, like something you regret, something where you said, yo, I'm keeping it real, and then after you did it, you was like, damn, I shouldn't have did that.
Man, I got a whole coffee table book worth of shit like that. But I mean, but
I just need one. Remy said she's the definition of the shit.
But the thing is, man, you know what I'm saying? We do what we do, and we take our lick and keep on pushing. You know what I'm saying? It always seemed the worst in the beginning.
You gotta man up, man. I've been the aggressor. I have people be aggressive on me.
Sure.
You know, I took another nigga that I had problems with and made sure he ain't eat. He could never get strength to come at me. And then one time I had a bigger nigga do the same shit to me and suppress me to where I was like, shh. It was like I couldn't get this money, and I was like, Joe, that's that 360.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to take that good with the bad.
You see, that's the thing that I don't think enough of us really value in our culture. You know, coming from what we come from as hustlers, like we don't value the karmic balance of the universe enough. You know what I'm saying? We put a lot of bullshit out there and expect a lot of great shit in return. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, you know, that's probably the one thing, because I got in my 30s before I actually understood the value of that, till I was that present.
Coca Vision, exclusively on TIDAL. 3 months subscription for free. Go to TIDAL.
Hey man, you ought to have TIDAL in your life, you know what I'm saying?
Well, he's one of the owners of TIDAL.
I speak from a neutral place when I say.
Man, T.I., I wasn't there when y'all caught a piece of that title.
Hey, man.
Jesus Christ.
But look,
you're about to get it, man.
I just really want to put, the thing that makes me support TIDAL the most and what sold me, because mind you, you know what I'm saying, it's the biggest that it's ever been now. When we start, like it wasn't what it is today. So the thought or the vision of putting the power of the art back into the hands of the artist You know what I'm saying? Like that.
You told me, you said.
That's what got me.
You said, Joe, whatever you need me to do, I got you, because it ain't about money no more. I got way too much money. That's what you told me.
I said?
Yeah, you told me that shit in my ear. You said, yo, Joe, it ain't about no money, man. Whatever you want to do, we can do, because I just got so much money.
I didn't say that.
You told me that in my ear.
I probably told you, man, we don't. I probably said it ain't about the money. I could have been, I probably was.
You probably was feeling nice.
I'm usually feeling nice.
Coca Vision, baby, TIDAL.
But we still can do whatever you want to do, baby. You know what I'm saying?
We got whatever you like.